Fantastic. We are here again. I said, I guess I said it today, but at 12 in the morning. So last night, today, whatever. I told one of the people of the Discord server that I would record a video today. It is 9:05 p.m. I have not rolled out a video. This is the last day of the week. I am so sorry. I really have to have less procrastination. It's really bad, and I got to work on it. And if you could you please pray for me that I would stop procrastinating so much? Sorry if my background there looks a little busy. I'm in the process of moving, so it's a bit of an issue. But before we start this video, I would like to start off with an apology. I know there has been times where I've said some things in the Discord server or possibly on the YouTube channel. I don't think I've said anything bad on the YouTube channel or to anybody, and then they might be watching this video and they're like, oh, it's that Luther Bros guy. And I'm just here to say, well, I'm sorry for any words that I have said that may have offended anybody or have caused any harm or were not very Christ-like in conduct. On that note, here we are today talking about what the church is. And we're going to be reading from the Augsburg Confession from this one. Because I'm not smart enough to make a video on my own, so I'm pulling from from our confessions. I found the part of the Augsburg Confession that talks about it, and I found the part of the small called Articles that talks about it. Now, see, I would talk about the apology of the Augsburg Confession, but I don't feel like having this be a 2-hour video. So, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a little bit of reading. We're going to do a little bit of summarizing. All of the research is done here from my lovely Book of Concord. We got some notes on what we're doing here today, and we, of course, Concordia Publishing House, as any good Lutheran Church Canada attendee would. Yes. Ooh, and great news for anybody here of the channel. There will be a giveaway eventually. I know I constantly said that I'd be giving away 5. I realized 5 would be far too expensive. I will be giving away 3 of this exact kind of Book of Concord right here. This exact one. 3 of them. Once I get confirmed in the Lutheran Church Canada, which should be near the end of summer. Or start of winter. And the giveaway will be through Discord. If you'd like to apply, you either have to be confirmed Lutheran or inquiring Lutheran, which you will confirm with me in order to get it. Because I don't want a Book of Concords going to people of other denominations, because quite frankly, why would I give the Lutheran confessions to, say, a Presbyterian or a Catholic when there's a Lutheran who wants it more and actually needs it more because he or she would actually like to read the confessions. Anyways, let's get started. I've got a little bit of a longer intro today. My bad, guys. So, what is the church? How is the church? Why is the church? We're going to go through the who, what, when, where, why, and whatever. Anyways. No, so the Article 7 of the Augsburg Confession, it's called the church. And then followed immediately after that, there's Article 8, which is what the church is, or what is the church. The word the and is in that sentence are swappable. Anyways. Well, the church is simply the congregation of saints and true believers. Simply put, that's what the church is. It's a congregation of the saints and true believers. It's not necessarily bound to a building, or it is bound to a set of ideals, obviously. Nicene Creed, Athanasian Creed, Apostles' Creed, obviously. But it's not bound to a physical location. It is worldwide. It is one of the only organizations that you can truly say is around the world. Everywhere. Yeah, but it is obviously important to have, pastors and proper things, because where was I going with that? Tangent. I love it. Anyways, yeah, that's what it is. As simply and dumbed down as you could put it. You could pause this video right now. It's at 4 or 5 minute mark. You can stop this video right now. This is the short answer to the question. What is the church? But, and, well, yeah, it's unfortunate, too, that within the church that there will be hypocrites and evil persons, as, and that's just a fact of life. It's going to happen. We cannot stop our own evil human corruption from entering even the church, where obviously wrong things were done, where, you have in the colonial times where the church declares that North and South America, the Americas, is nobody's land because it's not Christian land. And then a lot of atrocities happened there. Unfortunate that atrocities did happen. There is definitely a more peaceful way to spread the gospel, but, well, here we are, can't change the past, and we can definitely try to be better. And, yeah, it's just, it is. And it is lawful to use sacraments administered by evil men. This is another part that's in Article 8. So, let's say the pastor who ordains the supper is not a great guy, but he has the words proper. As Jesus said, this is my body broken for you. This is my blood shed for you. And it was, so long as the words are there and all that stuff is proper, then yeah. And even according to the sayings of Christ, because the scribes and Pharisees sit on Moses' seat, Matthew 23:2. Yeah, both sacraments and the word are effective, and that is why you go to church, to receive word and sacrament. It's important to hear the word, because in Lutheran church you will hear a psalm, you will hear an Old Testament reading, a New Testament reading from one of the epistles, and a gospel. So about four readings total. Generally speaking, depends on the day and what the lectionary says. I don't know 100%, but yeah, 4. And so you receive those, and then the lectionary is carefully picked apart for each day and for each day of the liturgical season to make it useful to. And then the pastor writes a sermon on those specific readings. Generally speaking, it is on the gospel reading. And the sermon, have law gospel. This is going back to my last video where I talked about the law gospel distinction. I didn't do it that great. I will do a more in-depth video of the law gospel distinction once I get the book, because I'd like to make it proper. Both sacraments and word are effective because of Christ's institution and command, even if they're administered by evil men. Obviously, where am I going with this? Because the Pharisees and the scribes sit in Moses' seat, and that is a pretty important thing. And then we go on in the confession to condemn the Donatists and others like them who deny that it is lawful to use the ministry of evil men in the church. Yeah. And then if we backpedal a little bit to go to Article 7, and we teach that the Holy Church will remain forever and that it will not falter, it will not fail. And that it is the congregation of saints, the saints who are in heaven and the saints who are the saints who are in heaven and the soon-to-be saints that are on earth, because a saint is, simply put, just somebody who's in heaven. In which, the gospel is purely taught. The sacraments are rightly administered. And for the true unity of the church, it is enough to agree about the doctrine of the gospel and the administration of the sacrament. See, because Lutherans, we are... depending on the Anglican that you ask, we either put the most emphasis on the sacrament or the second most emphasis on the sacraments. It depends if you get a more Catholic Anglican or a more Reformed Anglican or a more moderate Anglican. It depends which Anglican you ask. But in terms of Protestantism, generally speaking, Lutherans put the most emphasis on the sacrament. So much so that we don't even let other people of different denominations commune at our churches. That will be next week's video, or something else. I'll figure it out. And that's just a Lutheran thing. Why would you want to take communion at my church? Is the real question. It's not because we don't like you. It's because we believe different things. Not that we should accept that, and that we should battle with those things and talk about those things openly with honest discussion and without straw manning. Like, please don't be like that average Eastern Orthodox online and like, well, you Protestants. I'm not going to finish that sentence. There's so many things I could finish it with, but I'm not going to. As the administration of the sacraments, it is not necessary that human tradition, that is, rites or ceremonies instituted by men, should be same everywhere. As Paul writes, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all. Ephesians 4:5-6. There we go. I got the English down. Now, let's see what the Small Called Articles has to say about this, because we read what Philip Melanchthon has to say about it, and I think, let's see what the Small Called Articles. Oh, I stutter. I try to have too much emphasis in my voice, and then it makes me lose focus. Anyways, Article 12 of the Small Called Articles. And he said, thank God, today a 7-year-old child knows what the church is, namely the holy believers and lambs who hear the voice of their shepherd. John 10:11-16. I don't have it here. That's your homework. Go read that. For the children, pray. I believe in one holy Christian church. This holiness does not come from albs, tonsures, or long gowns, or any other ceremonies that are made up without holy scripture, but from God's word and true faith. Now. Some non-denominationals or other denominations who don't put too much emphasis on tradition, they'll say, well, see, in your confessions it says that they're not necessary. True, they're not necessary, but why not have them? There's no reason not to. Because if the Bible doesn't strictly forbid it, and it doesn't tell you to do it, it's something we're free to do what we want. If it's not expressly condemned by the Bible, and it's not condemned by the Bible, then why not? It's not to make it a thing, and it is important to have traditions. Like, obviously, you go to a church in Russia compared to a church in America, it's going to be a bit different, regardless of which denomination you attend. Lutherans, we have a pretty good idea, throughout the United States at least, if you're a part of the International Lutheran Council. We have the Lutheran Service Book from Concordia Publishing House. Mine is a little worn out. I would like to get a nicer one. It would be better, but all in time. International shipping. I hate UPS. Being Canadian, not fun. In terms of international shipping, for my current Concordia Publishing House order, the subtotal is like $239. Or is it $293? Something like that. It's either $293 or $239. The shipping costs $134 USD, and the tax is $50 USD. After conversion and all that fancy stuff, my total should be around $700, and I am like, ay, time to sell some things, because I would love Concordia Publishing House books. Anyways, off topic. That's just simply what the church is. Just the body of the believers. Not limited to a specific building. I know a while ago, my church, we wanted to do an outdoor sermon where or outside service, I should say, out in the park. We couldn't do it that day. It was raining. It was really messy and all muddy out. So then pastor tried to call and text all of the members of the church saying, hey, it's a little rainy. We're going to go to... Well, my pastor oversees 2 churches At the current moment, on a technicality, my pastor is a bishop. Because he oversees 2 churches and he meets the other requirements. And he calls, hey, we're going to be doing service 11 a.m. this church. And that was nice. But yeah. Yeah, no. There we go. It is now 9:20. I'm going to say good night, as that is the current time. I apologize for my late upload. I know I said I would post weekly. Technically speaking, it is still within the week. It is still within the week that I said I would post. It's just at the very end of the week. I will get better on this, and I will figure out what next week's video will be. I will do better planning. I will do better. And I ask that you pray for me with that, because I'm terrible at doing better. Anyways, good night and God bless.